Hey guys, in today's video, I want to talk about a topic that everybody needs to kind of realize, especially if you're going into the job market. And I know it's very scary hearing that word job, but guys, honestly, you need to get it at some point. Like, you need to have a job to support yourself, kind of make a name for yourself, start climbing the career ladder, maybe something part-time you want to take before you actually move on to other goals that aligns with the vision you want out of your own life or what you want to base your life's goals off of, right? But for some people, their job is quite literally their livelihood. They're doing it not because they like it, but because they need to. And for these people, I really have empathy for them, and I hope that they make the most out of their situation. Other people just see work as literally like a game, if that makes sense. Like, even when they're not working, they're thinking about work. And that's another discussion for another video. I guess you can approach this job mentality from different points, but one thing is for sure, you really can't hide it globally. In US, in China, in Canada, in Europe, there's a job crisis going on, and that's facts. Like, you can't ignore that. And the overall aspect of this video is what is gonna hurt some feelings, but honestly, the market is not cooked. You are. So if you're complaining about no one wants me, why doesn't anybody want to hire me, or why doesn't no one take my applications? Well, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but it's a little bit more deeper than that. You have to think about it like this. Now, bear with me. We are in the most competitive era of human history. Everybody's educated, everybody's stellar, everybody's great at doing their job, everybody's charismatic, everybody knows exactly what to do, and everybody has unfair advantages. So if you are the average Joe and you're blaming the job market on why can't I get hired, or everybody else is getting hired around me, how about you start looking at these people with inspiration instead of with jealousy? Case in point, I was on Twitter the other day and I came across this Lead Code post, the coding guy that basically revolutionized Lead Code interviews, right? He posted a Java application on LinkedIn, and he posted another one on Twitter. If you've been on Twitter for even a couple days, you already know that the talent density on Twitter is way more than LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I've been seeing so many people commenting and putting their emails, liking and all that. If I were to click their profile, I wouldn't see anything that would, for lack of better words, make me want to hire them, guys. It's because LinkedIn is so bloated. The talent density over there is kind of abysmal. You get distracted by all the noise, and I'm sure a lot of people want to get their experiences properly, but Twitter is quite literally the real platform to hire exceptionally based engineers. Twitter is the platform for that. You can't ignore it. Like, even if you look at the post made by Neat Code himself, he said Twitter is better for hiring than LinkedIn. And there's a reason. It's almost like all the geniuses just gravitate towards Twitter. It's a little bit more of an informal platform. So people aren't putting up a facade, whenever you post on Twitter, it's more likely to gain more impressions than that of LinkedIn, because on LinkedIn, it's kind of like the same formula copy and pasted over and over again. And the GPT usage is so obvious, it's kind of becoming like AI slop nowadays. I would say Twitter hasn't reached that breaking point yet. Honestly, I might just delete my LinkedIn account at this point because it's just slop on my page nowadays, guys. It's not something you want to like be on and kind of digest, right? Another example on Twitter, and I wanted to show you guys the screenshot, is that allegedly there's this guy that allegedly claims that people left, right, center are quite literally rejecting $5 to $50 million pay packages and salaries for whatever work they're doing. And honestly, guys, like, imagine being a person in a position where you can deny that. Now think about it from a business point of view. If a company is willing to shell out $5 to $50 million for this one person, if this person comes around, if they interview well enough, if they're the candidate you're going against, then this is kind of just using basic probability and statistics to figure out who the company is going to accept at that point. It's just business at the end of the day. Nowadays, companies are under pressure to be a little bit more acceptable for people, but this is age old practice, guys. It's always been this way. At the end of the day, the company will always pay a premium to have the better candidate versus 2 or 3 average candidates. Any company that has good financial practices and a good mission ahead of them will always prioritize the so called exceptional person, the genius over an average Joe. This is what it means when I say that the market is not cooked, you are. So if you really think your AI note taker app or your calculator app is going to make it into the next round of Citadel interviews, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. Keep on trying. You're competing against people who are starting to solve insane machine learning concepts from scratch before they even start like university. There's only like so many prestigious or even coveted positions that pay 200 to 500K right off the bat. Um, Even though as popular as they are when you see them on social media, it's very competitive. I encourage everybody to try their best to apply for these roles, study for them, and try the best in the job interview. But the company would always prioritize the person that I would say gets the job done first in the most efficient way possible. Even if you can be that person with like think about it like this, guys. Like if you're a person like that can't measure up to those metrics, then no amount of culture fit, no amount of social characteristics, no amount of being a nice person or being a kind guy to work with will solve that. It will always be the person who does the task better than you that will get the position. That's how it works for most of these so-called companies, right? Now, at a startup, it might be different because for the large majority, startups kind of stick together for long hours. You ideally want to work with someone that that you kind of vibe well off of. But the the reality is, you need to put in an exceptional amount of work to reach a position where you end up clearing 300 to 400K in offers. And this is what I mean when I say that the market is not cooked. You are. Now, if you're watching this video and you're starting to feel some sort of way, starting to feel a little ambitious, it's completely normal because it's a good sign, I would say, because it should motivate you to inspire you even to become like these people and try to do your best in these interviews and hopefully get these positions. But if you're the type of person that watches this video and you become discouraged, like, what's the point anymore? If you become kind of closed off, then you need to fix your mentality because this is a victim mindset. Blame everybody else but yourself. This type of mindset is like it won't serve you well, and I honestly think that you should try to approach a growth type of mindset instead. But yeah, this is a video, guys. I just wanted to talk about this since nobody I know in tech is basically mentioning this at all. I decided it would be a good video topic. Let me know if you guys want to see some more, relevant topics about this. But yeah, thank you for watching.